You don't see any clear path to get out of the dome. You see that the web is completely surrounded you.
Is it hardened or is it still flexible?
It's still swaying.
And we've packed up camp and we're ready to go?
I'm ready to go, I guess.
Then I ask our navigator, which way are we going?
Well, I'm actually looking at the map and comparing it to the direction that this Komachi has pointed.
Now, is this web thing removable, or is it like permanently attached to my jacket?
You don't know.
Okay.
It sprayed you with a load. It's now hardened on your clothes. You don't know how many washes it's gonna take to get clean.
At least you're not wearing a blue dress.
Well,
What do you guys yeah, what do you want to do?
Well, I'm gonna make a note on the map that I have in a relative location that
all right, yeah. How do you? Right here.
So I'm gonna mark that.
There we go.
Really, Spoon? Almost as bad as Ginger.
Kenshin, as you approach the web, how do you want to make an entrance or exit, as it were?
I am going to. I'm actually just going to touch it very gently and see if I can separate the layers and step between them.
Yeah, you finger that web.
As the vibration rings down, the one that you had offered tea kind of runs out and starts looking at you like, what are you doing?
Well, we have to go that way.
I was going to say, did you give me a direction to go? Because I'll just start walking through.
It is time for us to go, my friends. It is morning. I point to the sun's coming up.
He doesn't want you to leave. He kind of starts grasping the strands close and shaking its head. As he squeezes, water kind of runs down the webbing.
Here come a couple dead spiders.
Is there a reason we should not leave?
Draws the marking in the sand again.
That marking that's in the sand, I just go in and punch it. And destroy the marking.
Ah. And I make a wind noise at it, and then make like large pelting rain motions.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to communicate to. I think it's trying to warn me that there's a storm coming, and I'm trying to see if it understands.
Well, it's making the same marking as the.
Yeah, it's making the Knotmen marking.
Or the Knotmen marking. So.
Or whatever that was.
Let's roll a parlay, Kenshin. And I'm gonna say.
Is it a Knotman marking, or is it a?
Yeah,
it is.
I thought it was just a.
That's what you said as the
No,
marking.
it's a Knotmen marking.
It's a Knotman marking?
Yes.
Yeah.
But Kenshin, since you just punched the thing, it like that.
Kenshin.
So
Rohan.
Rohan.
It like that. So take a +1 forward on your parlay roll, Mr. Kenshin.
Okay.
Kenshin, you're going to be doing the roll since you're the one speaking to it, and that is charisma.
Okay, but I get a +1 on it because
Yes.
Rohan
Because of my-
punched.
My destruction. Really, that's the best you can do?
Well, like I said, I think it's a storm that he's trying to warn us about because it hasn't even kicked into Kenshin's mind that he's drawing a not man marking.
Yes.
With the noises that he's making, I look at him like, are you daft? Like,
That's me.
that dense? Like,
And then-
we just killed these son of bitches earlier.
And when he says that, I actually stare at the marking again, and I reorient myself to it, and I draw it again, and then I draw my sword and I put a slash through it.
It understands. It kind of seems almost ashamed because he recognizes you, whether the way you speak or the way you carry yourself. You're from a land that he's familiar with, but you're kind of dumb. So he tilts his head. He has this sarcastic grin on his face, and he pulls apart the webbing so you can exit.
I high-five him on the way out.
Your hand gets covered in wetness.
That's fine. I go over and I just wipe it off on Edward.
All right, so as you guys head out, it fixes the hole real quick. It starts to tear down some of the webbing that had been over you and making it a little bit closer and nearer to its actual home.
So it was actually protecting us.
It seemed to be protecting you from something.
You should have
Or at
recruited
least
it.
setting up a warning type.
Or it just really likes water and knew that you had a
Right. I mean,
campfire,
maybe
so the
something from us
humidity,
in the campfire.
who knows?
Yeah.
Something. So as you guys head out, you're on the coast now. You have the ocean. It seems to vary, but the cliffs themselves are about a mile or so to your north. If you keep going forward, the path is going to get a lot more dangerous. You can tell that the rock is more corroded. There's more kind of sharp rock formations, large, what you can't even tell like how deep they might be, but large openings and cracks throughout the rock.
Well, we need to cut back away from the coast.
I was gonna say, I
to the
don't like
camp.
the terrain, and I just wanted to scout kind of this way around it to go that way.
Okay. Roll your
Keep
scout
the
ahead
real
with
rough
wisdom,
terrain.
please.
Yeah, keep the real rough terrain on my side.
Choose one from the list.
As we know, we've got to be coming close upon the camp area. I would like to make sure I keep us in an advantageous position, either be it, behind cover or an area to easy attack from if we do happen upon camp on our travels. So either higher ground or something of that nature.
Okay.
Give us the upper hand in a battle.
Okay.
So tactical advantage.
Sounds good.
Sure.
And so, Kenshin, you're gonna work your way kind of through the rock formations, over the cracks as you can, kind of dipping in to the forest land as needed, back out to the cliffs, up and around. Go ahead and roll your navigate check, if you could, please, to plot the best course.
That's intelligence, yes?
Yes.
And would he get
Okay.
the +1 because we're in the map zone? at
Yeah,
that
I'll give
point?
you the +1 as you enter the map zone. Okay. For that, you get a one from the current list. You happen upon a discovery missed by the scout. The going is slower, you wander off course, or you encounter a danger. Whether or not you're surprised depend on whether the scout has a drop on him.
That says GM chooses.
Yes. If the GM says which, if the going is slow or you wander off course, the GM says which. or you encounter.
No. 7 to 9. GM chooses one from the list below.
Oh, I didn't read that. Okay.
Yeah, I
I'll
don't
let you
choose.
pick since I misworded it. Just this once.
I'm gonna take something that the scout missed.
A discovery? Okay.
Yeah.
Roll me. Let's see. Put the skull about where you think you ended up. Don't mind.
I think we're about there.
Okay. Roll me a 1d3.
Oh yeah, because those go well.
Standing kind of off
That's the
in
spider
the
chase.
in the woods a little bit, you see this wandering form. It seems to not be going in any general direction, but its clothes are tattered and hanging off. The hair seems to be in patches and bright white.
I will point it. I will point it out to Edward because it doesn't look normal to me, and he's more learned amongst us.
The learned. I have the book of knowledge.
I'm gonna try to spout
is
him
it?
some lore.
Yeah, what's the roll for lore?
That
Intelligence?
is intelligence, yes, and take your +1 for the book.
14.
This is this isn't an undead human. They're actually called the Aleep, and they are actually a wizard from the old world that has passed away on its travel towards
Kill
Corazon
it with fire.
Mundo.
Oh.
They are then forced to kind of wander lost. They're all over the entire world. You'll just come across, and it only seems to be those that had magic of some sort that can remain alive yet dead at the same time. They have a very low intelligence and are pretty dangerous if the unwise attempt to approach or defeat them.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go over here while it stays over there.
Okay.
It's a good thing I missed this then.
We're gonna avoid. We're going to avoid the magic wraith, please. Thank you.
Need you to defy danger dexterity to sneak away. All three
All
of
of
you,
us or
please.
just one of us?
All three. You're all moving.
Oh Jesus Christ. Well,
I get a.
Wow, and that's with my -1. Suck a fatty.
I
Well-
get a +1 to this because of on the move.
yeah, fuck you all. I stumble over a rock and it attacks me and murders me. I'm dead.
Edward, you
okay.
start to hear this cursing in a foreign language in your head, and the thing turns around. It's got bright crystal blue eyes. Its face is torn off on one side, so you can see the cheekbone and the teeth. And there's a cursing in your head. What do you do?
I'm gonna attempt to where is it? Where did it go? Nope, it's a monster, isn't it? Damn it. I was gonna use charm person, but that doesn't work on a beast or a monster. I'm gonna out curse it. I'm gonna start trying to spout words at it and scare it away.
Defy danger intelligence to see if you make the correct words.
Fuck your words!
The voices fade away, and it starts to kind of wave its arms together to start forming a magical energy in its hands.
Fuck me. Where is it? I have something for this.
I've already walked away. I haven't heard anything, so Nothing I can do.
I have some.
I actually care about Edward, so even while I've snuck away, I'm still paying attention to him and realizing that he's not
Yeah,
gotten
Kenshin,
away scot-free.
you see that this creature is now turned around and it's staring unblinking at Edward.
All you
Its
guys have to
arms
do
are
is
starting
say
to
something.
to
Nobody said
form this
anything to me.
magical energy.
Oh, it's okay. You're about to hear something because I'm about to issue a battle cry and charge at it.
You just heard me shout at the damn thing.
That's also
No.
true.
Yes, I
He
said I
the
was
words were in
shouting.
your
Word.
head.
Well,
He
I
said
don't.
his words were mine. I shouted at the motherfucker.
Oh,
like
well, I
you
guess then I
stupid
turned
fucking
around.
demon.
Okay, then I turned
Do
around.
you call him a demon?
I didn't call him a demon.
What are the words you used?
I more said, "Away with you, Wraith! Away! We don't want any cookies."
Kenshin, what do you do?
I'm drawing my sword and charging at it because it's
That's okay.
It
that's
fires
what needs
this
to be done.
blast of magic. It appears to be this orb of energy coming your way. What do you do?
I'm gonna defy danger to roll under the orb and come up swinging.
Yes, you are.
Because
But how do you defy danger? Because defying danger is not something Kenshin knows how to do. It's just a weird word. I don't know why he would. What does he do?
As I see this magical bolt about to come towards me, Kenshin is I treat it like an arrow. It's obvious that he's not going to be like swinging it at me like you would a sword. So the idea is to get out of the way from where it is, and the easiest way to do that is you either move to one side or the other. But I have a feeling he would be able to handle that pretty well, but he looks kind of rickety, so I figured going either above it or below it. And rolling along the ground means that I would be able to keep my forward momentum so that I can then come up and, deliver a wonderful sword blow.
Mm-hmm.
Combat roll.
You know what to do.
Yep.
Am I able to determine if this is a corporeal or non-corporeal being?
You haven't seen it yet because you weren't paying attention. Remember, you were
Well, I
like,
mean,
And this is plus
I turned
one because
around
I'm
once I heard
moving.
the old man yelling.
That's
Then
a
it said
10.
something.
you dive past it. It cracks into a tree, and a fairly large chunk of wood splinters out. You're now like within probably 2 or 3 feet of it. It does this prayer maneuver where it brings its arms up, and you see the glimmer of like a magical energy form around it. When the wood splinters, Rohan, you're pretty close to the tree, and your attention's pulled like, okay, something's going on. What do you want to do?
I would like to figure out what the hell's going on. Since the tree exploded near me, I'm gonna look around and see that Kenshin is moving towards this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to determine whether or not I can even hit it. So I'd like to see if I can tell if it's a corporeal or non-corporeal being.
Yeah, boy, you discern
You
those
see,
realities.
like, it definitely has flesh and bone, but a lot of the flesh is missing, and it's leaving just bone. It has these crystal blue
Sweet.
eyes, patches of hair, torn clothing. It's about 50 yards away from you. Edward is just screaming
50
curses.
yards.
It's you've wandered. It's about half a football field away from you.
I spotted Lord, didn't I? And made that roll,
Yes.
so I could tell them that this creature.
No, you defied danger intelligence by knowing the right words to say.
Oh,
No. Before that, he spouted Lord to know what it was because I pointed it out to him.
True.
No. Edward has only rolled intelligence and dexterity.
Yeah, because he
Oh.
failed his dex.
After we rolled before the roll.
Oh yeah. No, I
Before-
already told
Yeah.
you that I already told you about the spot lore. It's an undead wizard that has basically because he's magic, their bodies remain. They are dangerous for the unwise to battle.
Yes.
Right, but Spoon knows that. I don't.
Yes.
Yes.
And neither does
You
Kenshin.
see a a dead human thing standing fairly close, kind of shimmering in the light with a bluish tint.
And it looks half dead.
Oh yeah, its face is off. Its arms, like you see bone where bone should not be seen.
I assume it's not going to be very strong, so I'm not going to hasten my pace to get there, but I'll meander my way over to go see if I can help out. But I don't think this is going to be much of a challenge, so I don't think I need to rush into it.
I'm
Okay.
still shouting ancient curses at it, trying to keep it
You get
distracted.
in within about 10 feet from it, and Edward, what do you do?
Oof. Trying to throw up.
Is the smell finally
No.
hitting you from Rohan?
Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. How long does it take to fill a gem? Can I like try to capture him in a gem? I don't think we've actually discussed how to do that.
It's an intelligence roll. In order to capture, and this is something that Rohan and Kenshin have never seen you do, but you would
Yeah,
have to
they've never
roll
seen me-
intelligence because the soul is unwilling and evil. You take a -1 on your check.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to capture it. Start. I guess there's like a little incantation I know to put stuff in a gem.
Well, yeah. Tell me. I mean, it's your cast. So what does it look like? What do you do?
I've got
like,
this. I pull this gem out of my bag, and it's like kind of floating there in between my hands as I start mumbling a cast to it, and then it's gonna like you'll see like a white light kind of wavy shoot out towards it and try to capture the spirit and pull it in.
Nail clippers?
What's like your saying or your chant?
Bibbidi bobbidi boop, your mind now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm out of Oreos. I can't think of anything right now.
Bibbidi bobbidi boo, your mind. Perfect.
Yep, bibbidi bobbidi boop, your mind.
Roll
But you
your
have to
intelligence.
Say that now
It's
every time.
Yeah, I have to say that now, but in my head, it's just how I remember my spell. It's got like long words that start with the 3 B's and the Y and the U, but that's just how I remember it. That's your
Nice,
mind.
dude.
So it what does it look like when the soul is sucked out of a living
the body's
thing?
the body's left there, and the soul is captured in this white light that comes from the gem, and it looks like it's physically being torn out of it. Like you can actually see kind of the soul for a split second if you're paying attention. You know, I guess Kenshin would be able to see it, and probably Rohan because they're right there. They see it ripped out, and then it just disappears, and it shoots into the gem, and the gem kind of glows a little bit, and then it stops and goes back to its normal state when it's filled.
So you receive one standard binding gem, 50 charges from the Alip. ALLIP. Kenshin, this body seems to lurch forward, and this energy is pulled out of it. You see the lights in its eyes dim to nothing, and it crumbles into this pile of nothingness. And you just heard Edward say, "Bippity boppity boo, you're mine." What do you do?
Well,
That's not the spell.
you know, Edward's ways are strange, and confusing. So I'm just going to kind of go ahead and put my sword through the thing's spine, and then kind of turn and look at him.
Rohan,
What?
Edward has just captured the soul of a living thing, and it's now in his pocket. How do you feel about this?
Interesting way to defeat a foe, but effective. Question mark?
All right, so you have Yes, you have a trapped soul of a long
assume-
dead wizard.
I assume this is the.
Can I
this
kick
is...
the head off the body?
It,
Hit
it
the ground.
yeah, it
I
pops
just
off.
like kick the can style, just pop.
Yeah.
All right. I assume this is the first time they've seen anybody capture a soul.
I would assume
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, while they're stunned, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go up and loot the body. Gonna see if there's anything on it.
You're a dick.
All right. So they're kind of sitting with their mouth open, and I'm going to.
I'm shooting sideways glances at Kenshin, like, what the fuck?
This is this is not like an everyday thing, but this is something I've done often, so I'm not even phased by it.
Roll.
So I'm just like, oh, what's on here?
Roll a 2d6. Is
6.
Kenshin literally looks back at Rohan and just kind of gives him this almost shoulder shrug kind of look, like, fucked if I know. I've seen some weird stuff, but I ain't never seen that.
It seems like this wizard is actually familiar with the monastery, and it actually has a map that points out, if you were to follow the Forgotten Trail, it actually shows you the exact path of how to get to the monastery.
Welcome.
It's called the Sanctum of, but it's
Dookie.
kind of water stained, so you can't tell which god is named. It ends with an IEG, but you can't tell how many more letters there are, or anything like that. So you guys, you finish kicking the head of this ghost. I'm guessing this is something that Rohan does for a few miles. He just sees how long he can kick it.
Like, part of the way down, I like kind of pop it up, and I'm like Pele juggling it as we go down the road.
By the time
asked me anything about it yet.
you stop,
I
like,
don't
all of the
care.
hair
Killed
and
it.
skin have been worn off, and it's now just a pure white skull with these crystallized eye area, or where the eye should be.
You could get a few gold for those eyes.
It appears
I
to
knock
be.
it up and I punch the skull and try to catch the eyes as I shatter the skull. As soon as he says I might get money out of it, yoink!
Yeah, so you get two they're now blackened crystallized gems.
Okay. Black crystal gem.
Blackened.
I'm still just shaking my head at both of you because you're both just weird.
Any questions?
You can tell now, Kenshin, by the map that you are probably within 2.5, 3 miles of the bandit camp. What would you like to do?
I think it's time probably for us to, think about getting ready to, go in here and think about how we're going to take this place out.
So the map
Do we
shows.
have view of it by chance?
So it's kind of the map is widened out, so you don't have a huge thing, but you can tell it has the box, and in each box has an X. There are what appear to be like almost a sharp comb razor thing across the front side, and there are numbers. There's a 5 on one corner, 6, 3, 2, and around each corner there's different numbers. You can tell this is a big place.
Mm-hmm.
It's 62 inches by 53 inches.
There are dimensions on the outside of the building.
Yeah, why not? It's a storage place. That's where they store all their loot and everything.
Do they look like warehouse buildings or like barn-style buildings where you would typically store items?
Yeah, in one corner there definitely appears to be the box of probably storage area. There's a lot of They're just like a T, a sideways T that probably would be the sign of like tents. And there's a good like 50 of those on there. And then there's some much larger X's that there's 3 of them kind of in the center of camp. The rest of it, there's actually an anchor symbol on the very northern side, right where the coast would be. So probably a dock.
Okay.
Probably. Hold on. A little boat. There's a dock there.
Something like that, yeah.
You're welcome, folks. My wonderful drawing.
Do you have Fireball or some massive AoE attack wizard?
I do have a fireball.
Okay.
It,
So, here's what I'm thinking.
how big actually? That's a good question. How big actually is the fireball?
It's
How
going to
big
be,
can
it
it
depends on the fiction, my friend. Depends on the fiction.
It's huge as fuck. If I want to make it huge as fuck, got it.
Yeah, in situations, it very much could be.
Here's what I'm thinking. We wait till cover of darkness. Old shit for pants over here launches a fireball into the middle of the tent area. Would most likely be where they're sleeping. Sets the entire section ablaze. In the confusion, we go into where the X's are and kill anything that's alive.
Oddly enough, not your worst plan.
Sure, why not?
Worth? What are you talking about? It sounds like a lot of fun.
You truly are a child.
Don't forget, I'm like 2.5 feet taller than you.
Yeah.
So
And?
you're always having to talk up to me when you.
It doesn't mean you're not a child.
I know. I'm just letting you know. I tower above you.
So? Everybody bows before Edward.
Not once, nor will I ever.
So, boys, what are we doing?
That
Wait.
sounds like
Sure, we'll wait until dark and I'll light the bitch up.